Hi, today I thought I'd take a look at the Micronauts Omnibus Volume 2, the original Marvel years. This came out not too long ago. I already have Volume 1. I'm going to get all the volumes of Micronauts. Micronauts is something that came out before my time. It was really popular before my time, especially the toys. And I know a lot of people love the comic, and I've been reading some of it from the Omnibus. I continue to read the rest of it. It's really epic stuff, and it comes from writer Bill Mantlo, who breathed a lot of life and heart into the licensed stuff that he worked on. This, and of course, ROM Space Knight. I have a bunch of bookmarks here, which I'm gonna try this time going through this omnibus. So here is the front cover. Here is the spine. And I love the back covers of these omnibuses because they show all the different covers and everything. Pretty cool stuff. That's for Marvel omnibuses. DC doesn't really do that much. Let's take this dust jacket off. Here's the inside of the front. And here's the cover here. Here's the inside of the back. And of course, this is the same cover as we saw with Volume 1 with the atoms here. Pretty cool stuff. Let's take a look inside. Let's get this out of the way. Here are all the credits. Here's the table of contents. And this clicks up to issue 54, so from 30 to 54. And I think, I'm assuming Volume 3 will be the last of these omnibuses. I could be mistaken. This also includes the Sword and the Star, which was in 2 parts. Actually, one ended, and then they just made a backup tale for another one. It's Bill Mantlo doing a space epic using a lot of mythology and stuff and themes that he weaves into Micronauts years later. And these are collected here. They're fairly rare, and it's a real treat to have these. Here's the introduction by Mark Guggenheim. Talking more about the Micronauts and how great the comic series was. As with the ROM Space Knight comic series, it outlasted the toy line that it was based on, the Mego toy line. So here's issue 30. And I won't go through absolutely everything. A lot of these characters were in toy form, but embellished more in comic form. Here's issue 31. Let me take this flag off. And, of course, like everything else from Marvel, the Micronauts were part of the Marvel Universe. So here's Doctor Strange helping them out. Here's issue 32. Let's take this off as well. There's more Doctor Strange helping them out. And this thing, I think, was a toy. So they were trying to incorporate some of the toys into this. Here's issue 33. And you can see some toy design motifs from the Mego toy line here. I love this classic art. It's great stuff. And I love the old sensibilities of fun and adventure here. And the heads, I love heads around the sides of these things is great. Yeah, this thing I'm pretty sure was a toy. Issue 35. These covers still retain the old, like advertisements and stuff and tie-ins that they had. So you're gonna get the 10-speed racer, and you're gonna get the ad for the Spider-Man cartoon and all that stuff on NBC. I love more heads here. So they're naming characters like Bug, Devil, Acroyer, Acroyer, depending on how you read it. Microtor, of course, Doctor Strange, Commander Ran, Marionette, Nanotron. Yeah, here's the Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends ad. Really dates the stuff. So when the Micronauts land on Earth, they are in toy size, which I think was ingenious. They are truly Micronauts. Here they are encountering the X-Men, specifically Nightcrawler, who teams up with them. Here are the X-Men of the 1980s, including the Brown Wolverine. I love it. And those familiar with the Pride of the X-Men pilot are familiar with this team here, of course, from Giant Size X-Men. This is the cover that at least I ordered from my dust jacket. Pretty cool stuff from issue 38. Yeah, so the Micronauts are basically heroes fighting tyranny, the evil Baron Karza, on their own planet. When they escape and come to another planet, it's Earth. On Earth, they are tiny size compared to the life there. Now Earth is 616. It's the Marvel Universe. As I said, like every other licensed thing, from Godzilla to you name it. If it was in Marvel, then it was in the Marvel Universe. These reprints actually have the letters pages as well, so that's pretty cool. And some of the house ads and things. Here's issue 40. Yeah, the art in these are incredible. I like how they were teaming up with the different toys and stuff like that. This is the Fantastic Four. I'm pretty sure this is Franklin. So they team up with the Fantastic Four as well. They do encounter Doctor Doom as well. This is issue number 41. Yeah, I love this character. I love the look of him. I'm pretty sure there was no toy of that guy. That's the thing. Toy companies weren't in real synergy with everything else that they were licensing out to. So there's not a lot of overlap. ROM Space Knight only had the doll figure, and never made any of the characters that were in the comic version, which were like different villains and stuff like that, and also characters he teamed up with. And here's an ad for G.I. Joe. They're really trying to boost that, so it really dates when this is. I like this as a little key for the language of the Micronauts. They show this fairly often in the comic. Pretty cool stuff. Money saving coupon. This character that they fight for a couple issues. Some Avengers action, Iron Man. And that's the thing, they wove this into the Marvel Universe so much, and ROM Space Knight and everything, that when filmmakers came on board MCU, they would ask about some of this stuff, and infamously, James Gunn asked about ROM Space Knight and Micronauts, and then Kevin Feige had to break the news to him. He was like, we don't own those things. We own Crystar, and no one wants to make a Crystar movie for some reason. So they were doing these wraparound covers for a while. This is issue 45. And here's another letters page. I love these checklists. They're pretty cool, especially collected in these things. You could take a look at what was happening at the same time. Great cover here, kind of macabre. I love this. And I noticed that art is attributed to two people, one with pencil, one with ink, rather than saying pencils and then inks, right? Luke McDonald and Danny Bolanati. And here's Beast. More implanting into the Marvel Universe. Yeah, I love these little designs at the end here. Here's an ad for Epic Comics. And Darkseid, Dark Phoenix, Apocalypse Now. Pretty cool. Yeah, those crossovers started in the 70s and bled into the 80s a bit. Here's another wraparound cover for issue 47. And Micronauts is on the inside of the front cover for these. Makes them feel like premium. I love there's a bunch of like human-sized skulls and like the Micronauts, or it looks like a mountain of skulls. This thing I'm pretty sure was a toy. This whole thing here. I was never really into the Micronauts. I always knew of them. You know, I find something like this cool because I get to know lore and stuff like that, which I'm sure was not their intent when they made the toy. The toy was imported from Japan. Lots of cool moving parts. It's a precursor to all the neat stuff that we got in the 80s, especially the packaging art as well. Yeah, so here they're actually crediting a penciler and an inker. There's more with this character. That's really cool. The Microverse was introduced here and used in other Marvel comics. Captain Universe, of course, was introduced in Micronauts as well, and that concept was used over and over again in Marvel Comics. When I was reading it in the mid-'80s to late 80s, into the 90s, there was lots of Captain Universe stuff, including, of course, the famous Acts of Vengeance story, where Spider-Man gets the power cosmic and basically becomes Captain Universe. But that all came from here, and the problem was they could never really reference back to these comics. But they introduced all this Marvel stuff in them. And that was kind of the issue with expanding the Marvel Universe with like licensed stuff that they were acquiring, because, you know, then they couldn't refer back to them. They didn't really think about that, but they were trying to cross-promote, right? So if you read this and then you saw Doctor Strange, it's like, oh, let me get a Doctor Strange issue. All this stuff looks very dynamic. Pretty cool stuff. I mean, this was par for the course of the time it was in the early 80s. But it looks very appealing, very exciting. Unlike today, of course. I know I had to jab at modern comics. Here's the statement of ownership, which ran, I think, at least once a year in every comic magazine. It was the law at the time. But it's cool that all that stuff is recreated here. I remember a time when omnibuses were just straight up reprints, and nothing extra. And now you get all this great stuff like these letters pages and everything, and soapboxes and checklists and all that stuff. John Burns Alpha Flight coming soon. And here's issue 54. Where they're talking about corner boxes. And I love these checklists. Once again, it's pretty awesome stuff. Handbook of the Marvel Universe. So here we have the special stuff at the back. So here's the first story for Sword and the Star, and they talk about it. They explain the context of what you're about to see. And here is the original article that was printed in their magazine leading up to the Sword and the Star story. And it was a black and white magazine, so it's black and white stuff. The Ben-Day dots are represented here. This is pretty cool stuff. If you never read it before, I went through it before doing this video. It's pretty cool stuff. Great action science fiction stuff melded with mythology, which I really, really love. Of course, Star Wars introduced me to that sort of thing. And so that's the first story. And then here, Bill Mantlo himself talks about making another backup tale featuring the same characters for a Star-Lord magazine. And that whole just over a little over a year ago today is sort of like a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but less grand, right? And pretty funny. So yes, this is in the back of volume 2 of the Micronauts Omnibus. Pretty cool that they included that here. And of course, you get all the house ad stuff and like articles of the time, original art. Pretty cool stuff. So that is volume 2 of the Micronauts, the original Marvel Years Omnibus. Pretty neat. This and the ROM Space Knight omnibuses are treasures. They're really great. And I love the new improved art. The new improved coloring. All the art is incredible. It looks really, really great here. This is a great splash page. So yeah, if you can, pick it up. But, I'm sure it'll be around on various different sites for different discounted prices in future, perhaps. This is really great stuff, so I hope you had fun going through this with me, and until next time, take care.